This equipment has been provided by NREL, and it's going to take the weather data as I indicated. We have a solar panel that will power the unit for the period that it's in operation. The sensors that will collect the vast majority of the weather information, except for the weather temperature gauge, which we which is a separate measurement, and we'll keep this out of the sun from direct sunlight. The unit is placed in a north-south orientation with the wires facing back to the north. The control unit, which disassembles. I don't have my screwdriver with me. The key will work, because it is loose already. Here we go. This is the unit that houses the data collector, and I do need to connect it in order to begin the charging process and engage the CPU for data collection. The National Renewable Energy Laboratories is out in Colorado, and they have done studies like this in Afghanistan with the Marines, and they have sent this equipment to me for the purposes of syncing up data while we are here in these combat outposts. Did the same thing the last couple of days over at COP Cherkowtah, and the data, unfortunately we can't extract the data in the field. It will be necessary to do that once we get back to the laboratory. Okay, so I'm going to hook up. So I've hooked up the unit, and I have a blinking light which indicates that it is in fact being powered, and actually it's already begun to collect data. I've cleaned the sensor. The sensors are here, as I mentioned earlier. The sensors will collect all the data that is necessary. And I'll put the cap back on. Now we must keep this out of the sun, so I don't really have a spot up here to do that. So I'm hoping that that I can put it back in the case. Unless I'll also maybe try to find a cardboard box I can cover it with. I see some things down below that I might be able to use. So I've hooked in the solar panel. So I retract, it is now charged and has begun recording data. So hopefully we'll get 24 hours on this, in coordination with the information from the generator. So I'm going to walk away for a second and look for something to cover this equipment. I'll spread this over a little further, tie this down a bit, move this to the further. This is the first time this piece of equipment has been out in the field. NREL built this for field projects similar to this. It's easily mobile, self-powered, and it's been easy to get around. Hopefully we'll be able to extract some useful data. Oh, I do need to actually center the bubble so it's completely even. There's a bubble level on the device and 3 screws on each corner of the sensor. So there we have it. We have it centered, and I think that's it. So I'll go find some type of cover, and I'll be right back. Okay, they talk about GI ingenuity. That certainly does occur. Here we have a little ingenuity from the scientist community. Several months ago, they brought in the 30K generator, Army issue, and they they had it on 220 power and didn't switch it over, and they blew out all of the air cons here. We're down without air in 110-degree weather for I think it was like a month or a month and a half or something. So they threw all the air conditioners out, even the new generator in. So my improvisation? That's the wrong word. Improvisation is these air conditioning filters that we'll put over top of the sensor. The temperature gauge sensor, put in that metal piece there. And then we will cover the data collection unit with this canvas here. We'll tuck it through this metal piece and pull through. And then we'll actually just put the box back on it. Hold it down on this end. And that should do the trick. So we put one more here. So the temperature gauge, the idea is to keep the temperature gauge. We have out of the sun. Solar panel set. Temperature gauge is aligned, hooked up with power, level. We've covered the data collection box, and we have shaded the temperature sensor so it can collect data, yet still not be impeded by it still has airflow as well, not being impeded by any external forces. So now we've concluded the setup of the temperature gauge and begun collecting the necessary data. Thank you.